Amplitude OS active.
Gonna feel like Mike on the baseline. 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 Do you remember that song, Baseline?
Baseline.
It went no.
Do you remember this one, Griffin? Everyone says hi. Remember that one?
Is that oh yeah, that's another one.
Fucking Bowie track is so good.
It was very good. I can't
Everyone
keep straight.
Says hi.
I can't keep straight what was in Amplitude and what was in Frequency, the other Amplitude game. Anyway,
I can't hear this. Do you know how pointless this is? This looks
What?
like the worst game ever.
Because you can't hear the music.
Because I can't hear
playing behind.
anything. It's like, what are you doing?
That's a shame because it's good tunes. We're playing the reboot, I guess you'd call it, of Amplitude, Harmonix's OG rhythm game that has been brought
I like to
forward
think of it as a cover.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a fun way of thinking about it.
Yeah, it's a cover.
Maybe not the most helpful in terms of discussing what the
But
thing
it's like
is.
musical, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Music is musical. It is
Music is musical.
It's a rhythm game where you fly around different tracks, and each track represents a different part of a song. And by hitting these 3 buttons along with the crystals that are coming at you, you activate the track for a short time. And then by linking the tracks together, by moving between them without missing a beat, you get a tight multiplier going, and you build a song. And it's still really fun, and it looks really great. The music is interesting because a lot of it is actually made by Harmonix this time around. Not that there were a ton of recognizable tracks back on the old Frequency and the old Amplitude, but a lot more of it feels like is homemade. But it's all really good stuff for the most part.
I think that probably disappointed me more initially because that music. I don't think that the music I would have been excited about before Amplitude or Frequency was just playing those so much. Those songs became something that
became the game. Yeah, sure. And I mean, it's a different way of thinking about it because now every rhythm game that comes out has to be chock-a-block full of licensed songs. Although there's some good stuff. There's a George and Jonathan track on here, which I love that. Yes, please. Composers of the original Besties theme song. So the music's pretty great. It has I didn't capture any footage of it, but it has that same multiplayer mode where same idea. You're flying around different tracks, and you and a buddy are either helping to compose the song together or competing to secure tracks before the other person can. There are power-ups in the game, which in single-player mode just help you sort of blast out a track so you don't have to worry about keeping it alive. In multiplayer mode, it does stuff like bumps your opponent way up into the air so they can't complete tracks for a while. So you have the offensive power-ups there, which are really fun to just mess with your opponent with. But I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this core streaming song components together because the music. The rhythm genre has come so far since Amplitude and Frequency came out. I was surprised that I still found this satisfying when I think that other games have done more original stuff than just press buttons in time with music.
Sure.
Although the real hook that Amplitude has going for it that no other game really does is the idea of, without missing a beat, you're putting together a drum track and then you have to move over to the synth track and then move over to the vocals track. And just link all of them together because if you miss a prompt, then you drop your multiplier and you're sad forever at that point.
Yeah, and you've ruined the song.
You've ruined the song, and then the composer of the song shows up, and there's an FMV clip where they're like, "What are you doing? That's not how I do it."
Now they still have vocals.
Yeah, there's still vocals in each track, which is still one of the weirdest things to track because drums you can kind of predict, but you don't know how the words are going to come at you. There's also a campaign mode that has a 15-song, what they call concept album, where there's kind of a story going on that I haven't finished the campaign, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but you're actually inside of a woman's brain.
Weird.
And you're flying around trying to keep her brain alive, but you're doing it to music. Basically it just means there is some voiceover stuff that happens between songs and in the lead up to each song. It's kind of interesting.
It's really strange.
It's also really hard. The first song you saw me do was just an intermediate, which is normal difficulty. This is on advanced, which is a little bit harder. Some songs I just straight up have been unable to do on advanced. And then there's an expert mode that's even harder than this. Although, I mean, this is only after about like 30 minutes of me playing. So if you played a lot of the original Frequency or Amplitude, like it's going to be like, falling off a log.
You mean back like during the Reagan administration?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that those skills have. If you have like samurai kept your Amplitude skills sharp in those intervening decades, then I doff my cap to you.
No, I mean, there was definitely a period where I had to like relearn how to do this stuff, and I still have a lot of trouble with like linking tracks together, because I mean, it's still like, it's the coolest part of the game is like making your thumb do a drum beat, and then without missing a beat, like moving over and doing a bass line, and like picking those out by ear, and the way that the song amplifies those parts as you're completing them, like, it's still a really, really cool effect, and still a fun game. So yeah, if you're a backer, this was a Kickstarter project, probably one of the ones that turned out the best of the Kickstarter backed games. You should have this game in your inbox already, but it is out proper today. This synth part was too hard for me. Look at that.
Yeah, you just beefed it, huh?
I beefed it really hard, but then I got this power up.
Is it still a face button? Is it still like circle, triangle, square? Is that what
the default is actually shoulder buttons. R2 is the right prompt, R1 is the middle. Yeah, I actually switched to the face buttons, although that's still not a very sophisticated solution, because like when it moves really fast like that, just having one thumb to hit the prompts isn't great. Another thing
but
that
who puts two fingers on the triggers? That I think in games that requires you to do that should be illegal.
Okay, well, that's how Justin feels about it, but I've been really liking Amplitude. It's out now.
I think they should go to prison. I don't mean like a civil suit. I mean
okay, so thanks for watching. This is Amplitude. It's out now on PS3 and PS4.
See you in jail.
Go fix your brain. See you in jail, Harmonix.